this video, I'm going to break down everything we know about Project Slayers 2 so far, from the current state of the game, real tester insights, leaked abilities, and why this release might not be what fans are expecting. Plus, I'll share my personal take on what's going wrong, what needs to change, and what updates could actually save the game. Let's get into the full details of Project Slayers 2, and why all the hype might be too much for what's actually going on behind the scenes. Project Slayers 2 is nowhere near ready. Let's be honest, Project Slayers 2 is not even close to being ready for release. The current state of the game, based on what testers and insiders are saying, is incomplete and barely playable. Right now, there are no NPC enemies to fight, no bosses, and no working quest systems. The only things that exist are the open world map to walk around in and a working character customization screen. That's literally it. Sure, the visuals look clean and the UI seems modern, but looks can be deceiving. Testers have made it clear, there's no actual content to play. This proves that the game is still in the early stages of development. It's more like a tech demo than a real game right now. The only working feature so far is the combat system animation. And while it looks smooth and polished, it doesn't actually connect to anything yet. There are no enemies to fight with it, no PvE missions, and no story mode. Anyone expecting boss fights or any kind of real gameplay is going to be disappointed, because as of now, not a single boss NPC even exists on the map. The 2025 release? Probably just hype. There's been a lot of confusion because OW, the developer, previously hinted that Project Slayers 2 would release sometime in 2025, but testers are calling that nothing more than a hopeful statement. According to people with early access, it feels like that was said just to keep fans excited and invested, not because the game is actually anywhere close to done. If we're being realistic, based on the current progress, we probably won't see a full release until early or mid-2026 unless something changes drastically. That's how unfinished it is. Leaked abilities and what's actually confirmed. So far, there are 6 breathings and 6 blood demon arts BDAs confirmed in the game files. Here's what we know. Confirmed breathings, serpent, water, insect, 3 are still unrevealed. Confirmed BDAs, Gyutaro, Daki, Nezuko, Yahaba, Hantengu, 1 unknown BDA. But even out of those, several are still in development. For example, Yahaba's BDA, insect breathing, and water breathing are all being reworked. Even premium testers haven't seen their final versions yet. Thunder breathing was mentioned, but hasn't been confirmed or shown at all. Stone breathing? That was just teased using an old recycled moveset from a previous sneak peek. No confirmation if it's actually being added to the game. As for Hanteng's BDA, it's been shown in premium sneak peeks, but the actual moves or abilities are still a mystery, even to people testing the game. And here's the key point. A lot of this information is locked behind premium tester access in their private Discord. The public doesn't get to see it. That means regular players are left in the dark, while the devs only show things to a tiny group. It's clear the devs are trying to control the hype and avoid leaks, but at the same time, there's barely any transparency about what's done and what's still being worked on. Testers warn, don't overhype. Multiple testers are already warning fans not to overhype this game. One even said clearly, Project Slayers 2 may not live up to the expectations people are building for it. That says a lot. If the game were to release in its current state, it would absolutely flop. The devs are probably planning a slow rollout, but the core gameplay loop isn't there yet. The game needs a lot more time and actual content before it's anywhere near ready. Testers warn, don't overhype. Multiple testers are already warning fans not to overhype this game. One even said clearly, Project Slayers 2 may not live up to the expectations people are building for it. That says a lot. If the game were to release in its current state, it would absolutely flop. The devs are probably planning a slow rollout, but the core gameplay loop isn't there yet. The game needs a lot more time and actual content before it's anywhere near ready. Staff and moderation issues. What's really going on? Let's talk about something that doesn't get mentioned enough. The Project Slayers staff. One staff member, Windex, recently reached out to a major content creator and started dropping long, confusing messages just to defend the team. It was messy and kind of embarrassing. He even tried connecting unrelated topics just to shift blame. That's not what professional staff should be doing. Windex also said that the minor staff are good enough to handle moderation, but this came right after a tester leaked premium game content right under their noses. If your team can't stop insiders from leaking files, how can they be trusted with moderation? And about me. I've already explained in previous videos why I got banned. I never said it was unfair. I owned up to what I did. But the real issue is that the staff still can't even properly ban hackers or enforce the rules consistently. Worse, if you try to criticize a staff member or call them out, they don't respond with maturity. They'll pop into your DMs or your Discord server, sometimes with 3 or 4 other staff members, just to defend each other like a squad of angry kids. It's unprofessional. If someone with access to private info can be bribed that easily, it shows that there's no real trust or professionalism behind the scenes. And Windex also accused me of using scripts and ban evading. Even if that's true, it doesn't change the fact that their moderation is broken. You can't excuse poor staff behavior just because someone else messed up. And here's the biggest red flag. The owner of Project Slayers himself indirectly offered me a deal. He said I could get unbanned and receive a hybrid in Project Slayers 2 if I accepted. I refused. That alone proves that some parts of this team are willing to offer game-changing rewards just to silence criticism and make problems disappear. Why the community needs to wake up. The community needs to wake up. Just because the devs add some new breathings or flashy effects, that doesn't mean the game is suddenly fixed. If the same staff from Project Slayers 1 are still in charge, nothing is going to change. You'll still get banned for tiny things, still be ignored when you try to appeal, and still be silenced if you speak up. And when that happens, it's just the same cycle again. Banned, ignored, and forgotten. Comparing Project Slayers 2 to other upcoming games. The developers are also claiming that they're hiding sneak peeks because they don't want other games to steal their ideas. But that excuse doesn't really make sense when you look at what other developers are doing. Take Hinokami DSRPG3, developed by Shonen Studio. They're openly sharing sneak peeks and content with the community. Infinity Castle, village raids, fish-based missions, all of it shown early, no issue. And honestly, that game is already looking way more promising than Project Slayers 2. The sneak peeks show original content, solid mechanics, fun combat, character customization, and impressive VFX. Meanwhile, Project Slayers 2 is starting to feel like it might just be another copy-paste bandit beater with a fancy coat of paint but no real depth underneath.